2 truths, 1 lie. 3 statements, 2 of which they firmly believe in, and 1 of which they don't believe in. But none of us know which statement is the lie. And we're going to try and guess what the lie is. What I want, first of all, is your 3 statements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the first statement is, I predicted Arsenal to win the league at the start of the season. Second statement is, I went to school with Joe Gomez, Liverpool player. And the third statement is, Real Madrid would have been better off without Mbappe.
Well, let's zoom out for a second.
Yeah.
Do we think Arsenal are going to win the league? Probably not going to come to you, Ben, actually, Joe, because there's no chance. You're not
going to get an
say
honest
that.
answer
you're
from
not
me.
gonna get an answer.
Yeah, I think Arsenal have a very good chance. Yeah.
Do you?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think they're my favourites right now.
Through gritted teeth, I would agree with that.
Do you think Arsenal are a little bit boring?
Oh, as a team?
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm going to
No,
put it out there.
I like
They're
them.
brilliant. They're
I like 'em.
absolutely brilliant. But I think they are a touch boring because I've seen this team play this way. You know, Saka's out wide, Martinelli's on the other side. I've seen that for quite some time now. Matisse, why did you why did you predict Arsenal to win the league at the start of the season?
Well, I think Arsenal, they're kind of like gearing up to it as well. If you look at the 2 seasons prior to this, you can see the lessons that they're learning along the way. It's almost like following a journey as a Chelsea fan that I wouldn't really want to follow. And I'm sure you agree as well.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, they're getting closer. And it's like, it's almost, I don't know if I'm trying to find an analogy, but you know what's coming next. And they remind me of us in a way, without the trophies to show for it as of yet. But they remind me of us where you say, people question, were Chelsea boring? You know, were Chelsea tough to beat? And then they would just hit you, you know, with a sucker punch or a set piece. They remind me of us when we were successful. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're seeing a lot. You're seeing the sort of the Czech.
Yes.
Like that.
The
Those
spine,
guys.
The centre backs just being rock solid. The leadership traits. The dark arts are there. Last season with Ben White on the goalkeeper, every single set piece.
Yeah.
And then you've got a few players that will just turn on the magic, and Saka being one of them.
And there's things with City this year. It's not even maybe the Rodri thing is so massive, but like against Fulham at the weekend, it's like. And to be fair,
we battered them.
You did, yeah. and to be honest, though, I think there's a kind of a bit of that with all the title teams at the moment. Arsenal do look really solid, but they're giving teams chances and get Leicester. They were 2-2. Southampton went 1-0 up.
More importantly, Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
So you went to school with Joe Gomez, possibly.
He's a South London boy, I believe. Yeah, he is a South London boy. So it could have happened.
I don't know if that's clever or even like he just had a stinker at the start. I believe he's from South London.
I think that's 4D chess.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's
Oh. He's
I don't
thrown
know.
it. Yeah, that's too obvious.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
I don't know if that is good. I think he panicked there and he got himself back round.
I remember seeing a thing of watching, England do the Lions Den stuff in the summer where it's like they get 2 players on, and they actually like did a FaceTime thing with Joe Gomez's school.
Right.
So
was that your school?
Well,
yeah, was that your school?
Who knows?
You've got to answer the question.
Oh, do I have to? Wait, are you
so
guessing?
where are you? You're from South London then?
I'm from, I grew up in East London. Then I moved to South London. I've lived in like 14, 15 different houses. And then moved to North and now live in West. So I've literally done all the coordinates. Literally compass.
But is that 14 or 15 different schools? It's like throwing enough stuff at the wall.
There's enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So was Joe Gomez good at football at school?
I was giving him a
Might
tap
have been.
there.
Have I meant to answer these?
We've got a podcast here.
I feel like I'm being tricked. No,
you should be able to talk about all 3 statements.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, he went to, he played for Sunday League Lewisham Youth. I think the same academy Sean Wright-Phillips played for as well. And Ian Wright, I think maybe spoke about this, but Casey Palmer played for Lewisham Youth as well. So yeah, a lot of players have come through Lewisham Youth, and obviously, yeah, Sunday League dominating. Early days.
Move on from Joe Gomez.
It's so random. It has to be true. It has to be true.
No, yeah, true.
It's so random. How's he sitting there thinking
know,
about
I
Joe
think he's
Gomez on
struggling.
YouTube? He's not, is he?
No.
Okay, and last one was Mbappe.
Real Madrid would have been better off without Mbappe.
I think you believe that. I think that's the truth. Yeah,
I think you believe
If
that.
you
as
were
well.
to believe that, why would you believe that?
Well, I think I spoke to Faisal a lot recently, and he's been speaking a lot about Real Madrid's imbalance, which I think a lot of us already preempted a little bit, which was how was Mbappe and Vinny, and even Rodrigo to an extent when they were playing a little bit more of a 4-4-2 last season. They're both hanging off the left. How are all these right-footed left wingers really going to complement each other and play in the same team? And we saw Joselu, even though he's not, some Real Madrid-esque level striker, we saw his value against Bayern Munich and in the Champions League. And could Real Madrid have just gone and got a traditional number 9 and made life a bit easier for themselves?
That's why I liked the Bellingham false 9 kind of approach in the Champions League of the away games last season. It brought the best out of the wingers, someone dropping deeper, just like... And again, Bellingham won't get, there's been so much talk about Jude Bellingham over the last, 6 months, and is he overrated? What does he actually do? All these kind of things, and he just doesn't get anywhere near the credit he deserves for the stuff that he does off the ball and the duels, and, Arteta would love him for that. In terms of... So, big away games in the Champions League, I think you could see that focal point was kind of necessary. And again, it's going to be the same this year. So yeah.
Lock in your votes for Matisse. Oh, actually, you can say it. So I think he's lying about Joe Gomez. Don't answer.
Definitely the Real Madrid one is a truth, I think. I think he's lying about Arsenal.
I think he's lying about Arsenal as well. Joe Gomez is so random. If you're on the tube here thinking about Joe Gomez, lying about Joe Gomez, I don't know what's going on.
Weird,
but is there another connection there that he's gone, I don't know.
Ben.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay.
What are we saying?
Please don't be about Joe Gomez.
So, I went to school with... No. First one, Brennan Johnson will get more goals and assists than Bukayo Saka this season across all competitions. Second one, Cole Palmer will leave Chelsea, whether that's leave as in be sold or at the end of his career, will leave Chelsea with a greater legacy than Eden Hazard.
Ooh.
And right now, Dejan Kulusevski would start for Manchester City.
Okay, I think... Okay. Initially, you just go to fan bias and you think the Spurs one's he's going to believe. So I initially just think the Cole Palmer one is... Hazard's legacy. I'm not the qualified person to talk about this around the table. Hazard's legacy.
That is a lot. Cole Palmer does have the technical side to him. We saw it with the touch that he, played for himself to take that right foot shot on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That was crazy. I saw people trying to say that wasn't. You see that people were trying to hate on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were zooming in. They were saying the defender's foot played it, but then there was an angle behind the goal where you can see Cole Palmer's toe.
People are relentlessly tagging me, Arsenal fans, this is not real.
Yeah,
it is real.
It is real.
Do you know what?
Believe
The
what you're
fact
seeing.
that is even a debate is even more of a compliment to him, isn't it? The fact that we all know that he can do that.
Yeah.
I don't care if he didn't do it.
The thing is with this Palmer Hazard thing is Hazard didn't just create.
So that's a thing, is it?
It's the trophy.
Does that become a thing?
It's a big narrative.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing for me yet
Outside
because
of Chelsea.
it's the trophies that you got to win as well. It's the moments
Such a
in
quick
fight.
jump.
There's
Like,
so
he's
much
been
to
there
do.
6
Yeah, that's what I'm
months.
saying. There's so much to do in terms
believes
of
it.
not just ability on the ball, not just statistics, but then also creating lifelong moments and memories in terms of finals in Baku, in terms of Premier League title wins, big goals against Man United at home to go and win a league, whatever it is. Cole Palmer, it might not be his fault if he doesn't do that. That could be Chelsea's fault. So it's it's tough.
Right, all right. In terms of the overall possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Ben, why do you think that's true?
Well, I think one, if you kind of look at the numbers as well, Palmer's already surpassed Hazard's best season in terms of goals and assists at Chelsea. But for me, it's not just about that. You spoke about the finals there. You look what he's done in big games already for England. I saw someone on TikTok saying that goal that he scored for England in the final was the exact goal you dreamed of scoring as a kid, where it just rolls back to you the perfect way, and he just passes it into the back of the net. But you look at what he's already done in big games. I couldn't watch the Forest game the other day on Sunday, but when you watch back his individual compilation, that highlights reel, it's just so impressive because he does all of the things that Hazard used to do in terms of dropping deeper and linking up the play, making it all look so simple. That pass for Jackson against Brighton last week.
That's crazy.
But then you get, Hazard did as well, to be fair, but you get all of the goals and assists on top. And I just don't think with his mentality, when Chelsea, because I think Chelsea will build to, being back for major honours and stuff. And obviously I think it will start probably with the Conference League this year, although he's not in the squad now, but come the second half of the season when we're back in, when they've got a chance to win it, he'll have a big moment in that game. And then when Chelsea are probably maybe back in the Champions League next season or the Europa League next season, I think it just builds from there. And I think he's just going to have moments in finals. And I think
Is he charismatic?
No. And that's what Hazard was and Zola was. Yeah, he's not. But Hazard was and Zola and
Is that
players
a
like
problem?
that were. I don't think so, because I think that kind of with the way that, I don't know, I feel like people love that nonchalant thing about him.
Yeah, he's got his own mystique.
I think it's kind of going the other way where people don't really like not that people don't like big characters as much anymore.
Seems like a normal bloke, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think people love that.
All right, so that's one of your statements. Well, was it Brennan Johnson will score more, have more goal involvements than Bukayo Saka this season?
Yeah, hear me out.
Okay.
Saka already does have 7 assists in the Premier League.
Corners.
Yeah, that is true, and that's what might tip the balance the other way. But this Spurs system is like geared up for Johnson to score goals, and I think he'll play a lot of minutes in Europe. I think he'll get a lot. Again, those low crosses, if Spurs can kind of find that on the other side as someone to be on the end of those tap-ins that Johnson is on the end of on the other side, this system is just geared up for him. And also, I think that with Saka, although the numbers are really impressive now, I think that sort of, you've seen it with a lot of younger players like Kobbie Mainoo, Adam Wharton, and again, Saka's obviously clear of those in terms of the amount of games that he's played and the age and experience. I think that fatigue is going to catch up with Saka a little bit this season. I think there's an injury in there, and I think, I'm not saying that it's like Johnson's going to capitalise on that, but I just think over the course of the season, I think Johnson's going to be one of those players where he's picking up a goal involvement every other week. Saka as well, it's going to be close, but I think he gets more.
So what if you had to put a rough number on Brennan Johnson's output, goals and assists, what are you thinking as a Spurs fan?
I think we're looking at 25, all comps.
Wow.
Goal contributions. Not goals, goal
25
contributions.
goal
So you need to get, well, and I guess so with this in mind, Tottenham are playing 60 games, not 60 games, maybe.
They got Man
15
City,
games,
yeah.
right.
If we go all the way in the Europa League,
right?
yeah.
You got Man City in the next round of the cup.
Pep said he's going to play the kids, though, didn't he? He did say that, and I'm holding him to that.
Is he playing the Europa League games, Brennan Johnson?
Started the first game against Qarabag, was on the bench in the second game.
Final statement?
Yeah, Dejan Kulusevski would start for Man City right now. Pep Guardiola has gone on record and said that he is an exceptional player. He literally said in a press conference, he was like, Kulusevski, what a player. And Bernardo Silva's come to the end of his Man City career now, I think. Again, he's been linked with a move away for a while. I think maybe that amount of games is catching up with him a little bit. I don't think we're seeing the same Bernardo Silva that we've seen over the last few years. Phil Foden hasn't been in the team as much. Gundogan hasn't really come back the same player. And also, I think the lack of Rodri means that midfield could do with a bit more beefing up in terms of getting done in transition. I spoke about Kulusevski's off-the-ball work defensively. He's just such a cheat code in that position in terms of like bodying players off the ball, being able to retain possession, which is obviously the Guardiola kind of mantle, really. That's what he wants to do. Recycling the ball, retaining possession, the relationship that he's able to forge with his right winger. We've seen it with Johnson. Again, Savinho's not really a similar profile to him, but you've got someone who I think you could dovetail so nicely with there as well. I think right now, with the way that Bernardo Silva's not quite playing the same, Gundogan hasn't come back the same player, right-hand side of number 8, I think he starts.
Okay.
He's got to believe that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But the way he's said
Mic
all
dropped.
of them feels like he believes all of them.
But that's it. That's
It's
well played.
like, very well played.
sir.
Different
I did
tactics
play,
to me.
sir.
I did say, I did say before that my lie, I very nearly had as a truth.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it a bit more believable.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a 3. We've got the Brennan, we've got the Kulu, and we've got what was the first one?
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer.
Hazard legacy.
I think the lie is Brennan.
I think
Yeah.
he sold it on Cole Palmer so well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Brennan.
I think the lie is Cole Palmer because I think maybe his rationale is going to be that Cole Palmer might move on.
I'm gonna go with the lie being Kulu.
What?
Really?
I don't know. I feel like he sold it so well that
Yeah, he definitely sold
yeah,
it.
that it sounds like he's lying now because I'm like, do you really
I'm
think
buying.
Kulu,
So have you all picked
like
different
is
ones?
Kulu consistently
Yeah.
good
He's
got
enough
money
to
on
start
him.
for Man City? Do you really believe that?
Yeah.
I say, yeah.
In a title-winning team, that's
I'm
gonna.
not sure I agree. It's not about
Do you know
even.
what I mean? Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the murky waters, isn't it? It's not totally about agreeing.
Yeah.
I actually think it could absolutely happen, but Pep would sort of. I don't totally get the Bernardo. I kind of get the
gonna go
Bernardo
with the lie.
thing. I think Bernardo's a bit more of a poppet player, whereas Kulusevski's is a winger who's playing as a.
Also got De Bruyne in the mix as well in terms of a
Yeah.
replacement for him. I think he's actually quite. Again, you can't say someone.
His vision's not as good, is it?
No, definitely not. De Bruyne is just. But in terms of someone who could do that sort of job and the technical security, I think
he believes the Spurs.
Right.
The
so
one.
go on,
So
go on.
I think the lie is
That's fine.
Palmer for sure.
fair enough.
John, you're up.
Mine. Statement number 1. England will win the World Cup, but we will do it without Harry Kane in striker. And instead of Harry Kane in striker, I believe it will be Liam Delap. Statement number 2. is Manchester City will not win the league and they will not finish second and they will potentially finish third or fourth. And statement number 3 is this time next year, Cristiano Ronaldo will be playing in the Champions League, European Champions League.
Oh.
Back on European soil, trying to win another Champions League.
I do want to start with that World Cup shout for Liam Delap because that is very, very bold. Like,
yeah, fine.
It's very, very out there.
We've all seen the clip from the club. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Aging really well, by the way. Congratulations on that.
100%.
I am literally Delap's agent. But no, I initially like Delap impresses me so much with his physicality and what he's doing in that Ipswich team.
Thoughts on his shorts?
They're very short, aren't they?
Yeah, it's
Throwback.
It's sort of Antonio trying to.
But that's
show
what
off
players-
the thigh a little bit. He's
did
quite
it-
thick, isn't he?
Players always do that. They bring their shorts up, don't they? So I think it's
Yeah.
Ronaldo started doing that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Started rolling up the shorts. on the-
Alexis Sanchez.
Sanchez
did it
a lot. Yeah.
But no, I think Harry Kane has let England down on a couple of occasions. And actually, sometimes I don't think it's a fault of his own. He's been injured. He's been injured.
like this.
Yeah. I'm going to move this way on the podcast, away from Ben.
What England's greatest? Should I give you the
greatest
ball? England's greatest scorer of all time has let them down. has
Ever
he?
greatest ever player?
Do you know what I think,
I'm not
Ben?
sure I believe that.
I'm not going to sit here and just like... I'm not going to slate Harry Kane. He is unbelievable.
Did you want him dropped in the summer?
No, I didn't want him dropped, but I would have... there's something there that I think he plays big games. Unfortunately for him, he's played a few big games injured. I mean, he did it in the Champions League for you against Liverpool.
Yep.
And I think, that could have cost you that final. And I think there's definitely something that has to be said for Kane that the system that England played didn't suit him. I think if Gordon starts on the left and then potentially it suits him more to drop in, he's got Saka and Gordon making runs. It didn't suit him having Foden on top of him, having players all on top of him that want to do the same thing.
So
But
what? You think we're at the beginning of the end of Kane?
I just think injuries are starting to hit him.
I think it could be an injury thing then.
I think it could be an injury thing, and I think it could be a system thing. Delap will be that youth. He's got 4 goals in 6 games for Ipswich already this season in a team that, I mean, he's just scoring goals. The one he scored against Fulham, run half the length of the pitch. The one he scored against
Villa.
West Ham,
Villa
just
as
on
well.
the turn. 2 against the best goalkeeper you two have just said in the world. And I think his trajectory is only on up, and if Ipswich go down, he's going to get picked up by a big club. I hope Ipswich stay up, though. And I think Liam Delap will be leading the line for a World Cup winning team.
I agree with you, but I don't think it'll be Delap. As in, I think it might not be Kane. I think I said it on when we came on before when me and Harry were doing the England squad for the World Cup, and I said it'd be Palmer as kind of that false 9,
Really?
dropping in a little bit with the runners beyond him.
Under 21s vibe.
Yeah, I think so. I believe the Kane thing, and maybe I believe that you believe that it might be Delap.
What was your second one?
Manchester City to finish outside the top 2. So third
Look,
season.
can it happen? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think on Jaffin last week with Flav, a lot of people got quite annoyed with me, which I understand. But what we were trying to do was, I was going through the league and going, what's the best that could happen? Like, where could they actually finish? And if you do that, like, Brighton could win the league. Like, Brighton could win the league. Like, if we're going crazy...
Are we doing your statements now?
Yeah. Right, but, like, they could win the league. And with Man City, without Rodri, if they get one more injury, if they get 1 or 2 more injuries...
Haaland. If Haaland picked up his yearly kind of knock, last season he missed a few months. If that happened with no backup striker, obviously Alvarez went, they had to start putting people into false nines.
This is what I'm saying. Haaland hasn't picked it up. I've got my notes here, and that's Haaland. Haaland will pick up an injury. They don't have Alvarez to come in. Kevin De Bruyne, injured, hasn't played all season. Rodri, injured, out all season. Kyle Walker looks a little bit finished, looks leggy since the Euros, and obviously Adama Traore. It's not just off the back of like watching Fulham play well there. Maybe it is a little bit. As a Fulham fan, like every year we go there and we just get cooked. And you're just like, but I'm watching it and I'm like, we are good. Fulham are good. We covered that in another podcast here earlier today. But the fact we look that good and we're just little old Fulham. What do Brighton do when they go there? What do Chelsea do when they go there? What do Liverpool do when they go there? We only talked about Pep in my theory here.
Do you think it's his last season?
He could be leaving.
Do you think he will leave?
Yeah.
Generally, once you know the person's leaving, the wheels fall off a little bit.
I think he'll leave.
Yeah.
Klopp.
Yeah.
Klopp, like...
Short-term boost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For a long-term.
And that's what I mean. I don't think City will finish 5th or 6th, something crazy, but almost Klopp-esque. I think they'll just they'll be there or thereabouts, and then it just won't be enough.
Okay. Third one.
Cristiano Ronaldo will be in the European
Ooh, yeah.
Champions League.
I like
He'll
that.
join
I
a
like
big
this
club in Europe and try another run at it. And I thoroughly believe it because I've seen all his podcasting and YouTubing now. He's just like us. He's a YouTuber. And there's just, we all know the ego's there, but the ego's there. I mean, he's telling us how good he is.
Sorry, he's about YouTube. Yeah, so like
He's just constantly telling us how good he is and this, that, and the other. And I just think I just don't think he's gonna do what people expect. And
Do you
that's
think
to
when
ride
he's-
it out in Saudi for another few years.
do you think when he's at home, all alone in his ice chamber or whatever it might be, he does go, I think I'm going to just cheaper goals here.
Yeah.
Like
To get
yeah.
to 1,000. That's
Yeah.
what he wants.
Yeah. He
stat
definitely. That's all he's been going on about as well. But I just think he is Mr. Champions League. When you think
Where would he
Champions
go?
League, that's not my job to tell
Well,
you.
the first thing that
I
popped into my
actually
head,
struggled to think.
like
Yeah.
Galatasaray or someone like that.
Jose-
I think
Yeah.
Jose
Galatasaray
brings
got
it
enough forwards at this point.
Well, true. Osimhen's on loan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, if
True.
You are, there are leagues he can go
Icardi's
to
there,
where
isn't
he
he?
can still score easy goals by his level, and then
like,
have the big
they
Champions
always
League games.
cause
That's
big
all his
teams
focus.
problems in the Champions League as well.
I know you always need the money, but
Mm.
we're looking at how much. I think he's on 6 million a week or something, or a month maybe. Either one's ridiculous. I was looking it up. There's someone in their changing room at his club that's on like 2K, 3K,
Whoa.
and then you're sitting next to 6 million. But it makes sense.
But that guy's on 2K is probably buzzing with that.
Yeah,
buzzing.
As long as
yeah.
Cristiano gets around in, I think he's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
all right, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, true.
So the question here is, which ones do you
go on.
believe in and which one is a lie?
Mm.
I am. See, you could believe the Ronaldo thing. I just totally don't see it. The lap thing, I'm struggling with, man. And you do rate. I know you rate him though. And then what was the one? Man
City's
City's
third. Yeah.
I think that's
Good pick of three
Yeah, that's
statements.
Very, yeah. I think he believes the Delap one and the City one, and I don't think he believes the Ronaldo
I
one.
agree.
Yeah. I don't think he believes
But then
the
I'm
Ronaldo.
thinking,
so you're going
are you
Ronaldo.
playing on going big on the lap? Where it's like
Yeah.
it makes it more believable. But then it could happen.
It could happen. That's
I
the
don't
thing.
see it
2 years,
happening.
2 years is a long time.
Yeah,
It's a long time in football.
Yeah.
that is true.
I'm going to go with my gut, and it's the lap one.
I'm going to go with Matisse. I think it might be
You're going to lap as well?
Ronaldo. No. I think
Oh no, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be Ronaldo.
Okay, right, all goes up. God, it is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Right, okay,
We dim the lights.
so here are my three statements. Erik Ten Hag will manage Manchester United's final game of this season.
Whoa.
Danny Welbeck is a better striker than Kai Havertz. Noni Madueke will be Chelsea's Player of the Year.
Wow, these are.
I love Madueke.
But there can't be a world where we think he's going to
Player of
get
the
Player of the
Year.
Year over Cole Palmer. Over
So-
Cole Palmer. I think there's other. I mean, who would you put as your candidates now as your top
Yeah.
3 or 4 to get Player of the
Top-
Year? Would he make it? Top 5 Player
He
of the
wouldn't be
Year?
in my top 3. I'd have Palmer, I'd have Levi Colwell, and I'd have Cucurella. I think Cucurella's been very
Cucurella's been
underrated.
great, yeah.
since he's
He's
back end
done
of
well,
last
hasn't he?
season,
He's
since
come
he
back
inverted
well.
under
What
Poch.
about Caicedo? I think he's been
Yeah, he's
brilliant
been
for you
good
as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
So that-
on the outskirts.
There's 4 players that I think Jim would know
Mm.
are more likely to get Player of the Season.
So
at this stage.
this is what the reason I think this could happen. I think it could absolutely happen. Is the fact that Palmer, and we've all done this. You know, when you have your Player of the Year, once it gets to the point of the Player of the Year, you kind of want to look a bit left.
We had that. with
People do
Spurs
that
for
all
so
the
long.
time.
We had that Spurs for so long with Kane. It was like Son was actually got up. I know Son is also like
Yeah,
a
great.
club
Yeah,
legend,
yeah,
world class player, but
Yeah.
it was like I'm just getting a bit bored of Kane just winning it every
Yeah,
year. So
yeah,
then
yeah.
it was like, and also Palmer's not in the Conference League squad for the first half of the season. So Madueke is right.
Yes, he is.
So if Madueke can, Chelsea fans love winning a
Stat pad.
trophy.
Yeah.
So it's like if Madueke can be the guy that's just like every game goal or assist in that competition.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me is, so that's definitely a part of it, I think. The second thing, I think, is Palmer is utterly unstoppable right now. Right now.
Mm.
But I think that teams will just wholeheartedly target stopping him.
Mm.
I also think, well, look, I think we all believe that his mentality is such that he won't kind of feel this kind of pressure. He'll just keep playing. And from what we've seen, that would probably be the case. From what I know of, watching football for as long as I have, there will be a lull
Mm.
Yeah.
where the numbers will slow down a little bit. And so both those things, one, those numbers going down a little bit, but also in that system, I think he will facilitate a lot of chances for Madueke. on that right hand side. I think that, and he's so direct.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that could hurt him. Is I'm not sure how likable he comes across. I think that's where the heat might be coming from. I wasn't aware of the heat, but I think the having him out on the right hand side, and I think he's making that position his own a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he could definitely go and get some brilliant numbers next to Cole Palmer. And I think he's getting slept on a little bit. And if Cole Palmer's numbers drop, Madueke's might
Sancho's
still
the
rise.
creator as well.
Yeah.
You've got
He's
Sancho
more
there
of a
creating as well.
facilitator
Yeah,
than-
he's very direct. I think
Yeah.
the goals will be there.
Yeah.
And if it all comes together for Chelsea, which it absolutely could, I think he could absolutely be Chelsea Player of the Year. What else do you want to ask me?
So that remind us of your other two.
Okay, so if we're going backwards, are we happy with Nani Madueke?
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck is a better striker than Kai Havertz.
I think you believe that because he is a striker,
I
and
think you believe
Havertz
that. I
isn't
love
really
that.
a striker. He's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Welbeck. In another world, Welbeck without the injuries is a 150 goal Premier League striker.
Yeah, he's been playing for 16 years, I think, in the Premier League.
Crazy, isn't
And that was his first free kick
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah.
I think people will know on this podcast he is severely slept on, I believe.
I agree.
Has been for a long, long time.
I had him. We did a Premier League top 10 strikers list, and I had him above Kai Havertz. Exactly what you said, Matisse, because I believe he is a striker, whereas Kai Havertz is a better player, but not a striker.
Is that mad, though, that you're saying he's not a striker or someone who's playing for Brighton? I'm not trying to be patronising, and it doesn't really work because I think he's better. But you're able to make that, and people can't lose their mind for a team that's then you're expected to go and get 90 points.
Yeah, well, my logic,
mad, isn't it?
The only thing that's slightly proven it wrong is Kai Havertz this season because he's scoring so many goals. But
Different types of goals as
until
well.
this season, like my reasoning behind Welbeck being higher than Havertz pre-season, right, was you don't. Kai Havertz in big games, Arteta would overthink and move him into midfield and things like that. Whereas like Danny Welbeck's not going to get moved into midfield. And I just thought, as a striker, if you've got them there, you go Danny Welbeck. Like that's just how I see it. I just see it as. Whereas I think Kai Havertz is a better footballer and can play in the pocket and can do things that Danny Welbeck can't. But as a striker, Danny Welbeck slept on 16 years in the Prem. 4 goals this season, 5 maybe already. He's a good player.
Does Danny Welbeck score more goals for Arsenal than Kai Havertz if he plays as the 9 all season and he's fit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably
Yeah,
does.
he does.
I think he does.
He's
yeah.
so,
he's good in the
so
air.
well-rounded. He is a better striker than Kai Havertz.
I think you believe that.
I think.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I believe it.
I think he's convinced me.
So my last one was Erik Ten Hag will manage Manchester United's final game of the season.
No,
You'd
this
like
is where
to
this is
hear
where I'm
That's
struggling.
great. Yeah, right now at the time we're
They're having a
recording.
meeting today about him
right now.
leaving.
He could be gone.
He could
We're
be
on
gone.
Do Not
Let's
Disturb
check.
right
we
now.
haven't checked on
Can we
our
check?
notifications.
Yeah,
He might not even be in the job.
That's
Hang on, I'm coming off Do Not Disturb. I'm not seeing it.
You're not seeing it,
I'm not
okay.
seeing anything.
Okay,
yeah.
Right, let me
Survived another
explain. So, I think everyone's looking at the wrong thing when they're looking at Erik Ten Hag. I don't think Erik Ten Hag is the future of Manchester United, but I don't think that Ineos are worried about Erik Ten Hag. What they're concerned about are their optics moving forward. And so it doesn't matter about Erik Ten Hag. He will go. He will go at the end of the season or he will go before that. If he goes before that, it's going to cost them 17 million quid.
Yep.
17 million quid. And again, if they let him get to the end of the season, hopefully there's a pickup, right? You give yourself so much more time to go and get the manager that will be right for them for the long term. And that is all that Ineos care about, because they will not be judged on Erik Ten Hag and how long they give him. They will be judged on the first person that they bring through the door. And so by giving him the patience or allowing the patience, even if you're literally flirting with every manager that's out there, you still, in the eyes of the fans, you go, well, he's giving Erik Ten Hag as much opportunity as possible. You save yourself a load of money. When we look at managers and you look at the list of managers, you've either got to take someone out of a club after giving a bloke 17 million, you've got to pay for them.
Yeah.
And of all the managers that are out there, is there one that's exciting enough? Is there one that ticks all the boxes? But is there someone you can flirt with right now? Go, look, you get through this season. We'll talk at the end of the season, but we want you at the end of the season. You give them the whole pre-season. It hasn't cost you a penny, and you've looked like you're patient, but the guy that you want is the guy that you want.
I think if Man United were hovering around 8th, this could fly. But them being 14th, if they were to keep losing more games, I don't see how even you would be able to stomach. Like, it's getting to a point where it's going to get toxic. And the worst thing you want as an ownership, I agree with you though about sacking, and your first guy needs to be the right guy, and that's where they start judging you. But they're also going to judge you on the levels of toxicity you let it get to, and your ability to know when to pull the plug and to accept that no matter what your initial plan was, you got to think on your feet and understand that you've got that wrong. You've miscalculated.
Next games aren't easy. They've got Brentford at home, Fenerbahce away, West Ham away.
Mourinho, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think an away defeat there, and again, it's not easy against Mourinho, but it just that for the United fan, I think it's so hard to
say those fixtures again.
Brentford at home.
Stop.
Brentford
What did we
loves
Watch out.
Yeah, it's
Thomas Frank he'll want that.
And Thomas
scout.
Frank's auditioning for that job,
Yeah.
basically, at that game. Yeah.
I think that, again, we talked about United dropping the ego. Frank would be such a good appointment for them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be
Like-
great.
So, yeah, guys, what do you think? Erik Ten Hag will manage Manchester United's final game of the season. Danny Welbeck is a better striker than Kai Havertz. Noni Madueke will be Chelsea's player.
I think the
of
Man United
the
one's a
year.
lie for me.
I do too. I
Right,
don't think
yeah.
you believe I don't think you smashed it when you were saying if they were in 8th, 7th, and it was like, all right,
Yeah.
they're 14th, and they
could
look
be-
terrible.
They could be in the relegation zone.
Yeah, they look.
There's no way you'd still say.
Yeah, no way. I don't, 100%. And I think there's some options out there. Ruud van Nistelrooy's on the bench.
Mm.
Still going to cost you
Costs a
17
lot of
million.
money.
It is, but you can amortise that.
Very true.
Always the answer.
But then again, I don't know. The Welbeck one's definitely true.
Yeah.
Or is it?
United lie for me. Yeah.
But then it's like the Madueke thing is such a good case. Like, that does make a lot of sense. Well, so, I mean, obviously so does Ten Hag, but I'm going to say Madueke.
Right. So, Matisse,
Yes.
you're just to circle back. If you say your 3 statements, I will say what we went for, and then we can sort of tally up the points. So, what were your 3 statements?
My 3 statements were: I predicted Arsenal to win the league. I went to score with Joe Gomez, and Real Madrid would have been better off without Mbappe.
Okay, I went for the Joe Gomez shout being the lie, and Ben and John both went for the Arsenal prediction being the lie. Matisse, please reveal what the lie was.
The lie was the Mbappe.
He's done that.
Masterclass. And you know what? I was
That's
thinking,
impressive.
I butchered the Joe Gomez one, but I said, you know what? Maybe if I just act nervous, these guys will think I'm lying about that.
Played it really well.
Really good.
I had so much to
Wow.
say on Joe Gomez. I've known him for his whole life. He used to be my bodyguard when I was selling cookies in school and Luca's age.
I want to know where you're going there.
Cookies.
What a career arc.
Brilliant.
Sick.
Great guy, by the way.
All
Brilliant
right.
guy.
Yeah, he played the nervous card
Yeah, did
really
really
well.
well.
Yeah, he
really
did.
well.
Yeah.
Superb. Wow. Levels to this game. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think
Great work.
Mbappe's going to work?
So no points. No points for anyone.
I do think Ancelotti, I rate him so highly.
Surely. you
The
think
way
of
that he
yeah, good point.
found a role for Bellingham, I do think
Yeah.
he'll think of something
Yeah.
by the end of the season, yeah.
Okay.
True.
Ben, read out your 3 statements of which you've passionately.
Brennan Johnson will get more goals and assists than Bukayo Saka this season. Cole Palmer will leave Chelsea with a greater legacy than Eden Hazard. And Dejan Kulusevski would start for Manchester City right now.
Okay. I went for Brennan Johnson. Thought that was the lie. John went with the Cole Palmer shout. And Matisse went with the Kulu shout.
Okay, well, someone is right.
Yeah. Someone's going to get off the board here.
The
On the board.
lie was Brennan Johnson.
Oh, no way.
Because I wrote down a few other ones and I was like, I thought the Brendan Johnson one in my head and I was like, because I kind of back it and that's what I was saying. I was like, I wanted to do it as a truth. But one of my other truths that I sort of wrote down, which massively contradicts it and what I actually do potentially believe, is that Bukayo Saka will break the single season Premier League assist record this season, which is 20 and he's
wow.
already on 7.
Yeah, you think I'll do
Yeah, fair
yeah, the
with those corners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You played that so well. To set
You did,
because
yeah, you
I
did.
brought
Yeah.
up the corners straight away and you went, oh, yeah. It's all he was thinking about.
It's all up there.
Brilliant. So well played. Allcott is in the lead.
Wow.
Come on. Okay.
Mine.
John.
Yeah, so I had England to win the World Cup with Liam Delap up front, no Harry Kane. Manchester City to finish outside the Premier League top 2, or Cristiano Ronaldo to be back on European soil playing in the Champions League next year.
Okay. I went for the Delap shout to be the lie. Ben went for Ronaldo, as did Matisse.
Okay. The lie. Also, Ben, you might be disappointed. My lie is Delat. And you got my exact. You said it because I think Cole Palmer will be the false nine, but I don't think it'll be Harry Kane. So there's a little bit of truth in it.
Right.
I think England will go in.
I swayed him. I think.
I am on fire.
You nearly had it. So you got 2.
I've got 2.
You've won.
So I've won, I think.
Yeah, you have one. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
Boo. Wins his own
Let's
podcast.
see.
Boring.
Get a fridge.
Boring.
Well, importantly, silver medal, guys. Who wants a medal?
You, Thierry Henry.
He gets something out of his own fridge.
Yeah, she does every week.
Yeah, I really do. So I said the following: Erik Ten Hag will manage Manchester United's final game of the season. Danny Welbeck is a better striker than Kai Havertz. I also said that Noni Madueke will be Chelsea's Player of the Year. One of those is a lie in my eyes. Ben went with Madueke, and John and Matisse went with the Manchester United shout. I can reveal that the lie was that Noni Madueke will be Chelsea's Player of the Year.
Oh my days.
Tottenham always come in second.
Yeah,
You think Ten Hag will get to the end?
I do.
That's going to be mad.
Really?
If he
It does make sense.
I think he'll come back and it'll be a little bit better.
Yeah,
He'll
and
get
just
something will
drag
get
it out.
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
drag it out.
wow.
They can't really be that much
They can't,
worse, I
yeah,
suppose.
surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14.
And I'm always backing my guy Welbs. So
Yeah.
and that was
I knew
obvious.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
There has been green shoots for United, though, I think, a little bit.
They're not as bad.
They're better than last year.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
They've had.
Their
They've
attack
not
is-
taken their chances.
their
at
attack
all.
is-
They're the biggest XG underperformers
Yeah.
in the league.
But
And
is that going to? Yeah, it should get better, shouldn't it? But
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know
Xerxes,
who's
isn't it?
going to do it.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
Xerxes not
He's a 9.5.
not great.
Yeah, I really like him as a player.
Okay. I
Not
thought
been
that was
great, though.
fun.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was good. Yeah.
Nice to get the.
Didn't get a single one right.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
That
That stings a little bit. Yeah.